Welcome back. This is part 2 of how to end the blame game and to instill a culture of accountability. By the end of this video, you will be able to understand accountability at a much greater level and to be able to use that in your life to help you tune in and live the life of your dreams. I am so grateful that you are here with me now in this part 2 video. And this one is about how to instill a culture of accountability, which is part 2 to how do I stop the blame game. So I am grateful that you are here because now we get to actually discuss the solution to how to get past all this blame that actually leads in a very negative space, which with people giving up on life, which is not what we want. And again, this is based on the children's book that I wrote called A Maggot's Life, The Power of Belief. And all of this is part of that story, which is amazing that I didn't know was even there when I first wrote the book, but came out later. That teaches about the maggot syndrome, which is about the blame game and where that leads and how to get out of it. What's the solution, which I have come to call the grandfather fly solution. Because in the story, there's a little maggot that has low self-esteem that just wants to be happy, but he's blaming his circumstances, himself, and where he's at in life. And he's about ready to give up on life. And it was a really dark place. Thank goodness Grandfather Fly came by for a visit, because Grandfather Fly planted a thought in Fred's mind that helped him to see that maybe life could be different. Maybe life could be better. And so for those of us that are stuck so deep in the blame game, so deep so that we have lost sight of ourselves and our identity, we need the grandfather flies, those mentors, those loving people who are able to see past our behavior and see us for who we truly are. Miracles with a purpose that are put here on this life to make this world better for all of us. And so here's the solution to the blame game and how to instill a culture of accountability. There are 3 parts to this as well. The first part, however, has 3 steps, 3 sub-steps to help get to it. So this is the grandfather fly solution. So the first step is accountability. We've got to take accountability for our lives. That doesn't mean we're responsible for everything that's happened in our life. That person that hit you, that person that called you a name, you are not accountable for their choices. They are accountable for their choices. You are accountable for what you choose to do now that that event has taken place. So you are accountable for you. And sometimes, for those of us that have been in really dark places, in that low space in the blame game, it can be very difficult to get to accountability, because oftentimes when we go to accountability from that really dark space, so we say, yeah, I know it was my fault. I know I'm the problem. I know I'm a mistake. I know I'm whatever. And we blame ourselves. So blaming yourself is not taking accountability for yourself. Accountability is non-judgmental. Accountability is saying, yes, I screwed up. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I made a choice that probably wasn't very good. Now what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? Accountability is empowering. It empowers you to make better decisions, to grow forward rather than getting stuck. Because here's the cool thing. If you made that decision that got you in a sticky situation, a not very good place, guess what? You can make a decision to get yourself out of it. Because if you recognize that you are the one that made the decisions, that's freeing. That is so freeing to know that because you made those decisions that got you in a crappy situation, you can make those decisions to get you into a happy, amazing situation. You get to make the choice. Accountability is recognizing that I have choice. I have choice, and I get to choose. There are 3 things that we get to control: our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. We are accountable for those. That's what we're accountable for. And so when we're coming from a dark place from that blame game, it can be difficult sometimes switching to that accountability because we still have a tendency to blame ourselves and to get stuck in that. So that's why there's 3 sub-steps to help with that. The first one is I am statements. I am statements. Now, you may have heard about declarations, positive affirmations, I am statements. You may have heard of that before. So why is that a sub-step to accountability? Because we need to improve the relationship with ourselves. That's it. We need to improve the relationship with ourselves. And so I am statements, declarations, positive affirmations, those are helping us change the way we see ourselves. Sure, maybe right now I don't feel very great about myself. I don't see myself as a healthy person. I see myself as this problem, this unhealthy person that's made this mess. But just having the desire counts. So I start to say, I'm happy. I am happy. I am happy. And you say that over and over. You're going to have a little problem that comes up at first, because the first time you say that, or I'm a good person, or I am honest, the first time you say that, if you haven't been believing that, your mind is going to kick it back and go, no, you're not. Look at this experience. Look at what you did here or there or there. And it's going to throw it back forcefully and say, how dare you even say that to yourself, that positive thing? So you're going to have a very uncomfortable experience, because what this does is it creates cognitive dissonance, is what it's called, where the mind has 2 ideas that don't fit, and now it's having to try to align them. So it creates a very uncomfortable situation where you're going to want to reject one or the other. And because the other one you're so comfortable with, that new idea, you can easily just go, no, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to experience that. And it's going to kick back hard. Know that. And so when you do this, it's expected. And so you just keep doing it. I am happy. I am honest. I am successful. Whatever it is for you, you say that again and again and again. I didn't realize the power of affirmations until later in life, but I was using them without knowing what I was doing. There was a time when I lived in Germany, and I had a coworker that I worked with that I didn't get along with very well. And I recognized that in order for us to be effective in our work, we needed to get along. But I really struggled with my coworker. But I knew that I needed to, so I started saying some words. I would say, Nächstenliebe, Liebe, Demut und Geduld, which in English is charity, love, humility, and patience. Just 4 words. 4 words, that was it. And as I started to feel like that animosity come up, where I'm just like angry with him and I don't want to work with him, I would say, Nächstenliebe, Liebe, Demut und Geduld. Charity, love, humility, and patience. 4 words. And not only that, I put a little tune to them, and I would sing in my mind, Nächstenliebe, Liebe, Demut und Geduld. Nächstenliebe, Liebe, Demut und Geduld. And before I knew it, I started to feel more positive, and I was able to see him more as a person, and we were able to get along better. And so I recognized the power of positive words before I knew what I am statements even were. So words are powerful. Words are energy. And so say those things to yourself and get yourself to believe them. Say it enough and with intensity and repetition, and you will. The trick there is you want to change it up so that it's not just being monotone, because the mind, the subconscious, will be able to reject that easy if it knows what's coming. So it's like, okay, I'm positive, I'm positive, I'm positive. The subconscious is like, I know what's coming next. Block, block, block. But if you say, I'm positive, I'm positive, I'm positive, I'm positive, all of a sudden the mind's going to go, oh my goodness, I didn't see that coming. That got in. And you're going to start to feel differently. I am statements. Change the way you see yourself. Powerful. The next step, gratitude. Gratitude is absolutely necessary, because in this journey, you're going to make mistakes. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be pretty. Be grateful. Be grateful for the lessons that you're being learned. Be grateful. Make a list, 10 positive things, 10 things you're grateful for every day, and do that for a month. You'll have a list of 300 different things that you're grateful for. Gratitude will help prepare you to go inward. Notice these are things inward, focusing on your relationship with yourself, being grateful. Now that you are having a better relationship with yourself, you're grateful for your life, now you have a safe place to turn inward. Because notice this, you were born with everything you need to be successful in this life. It's within you. So as you create a safe place within yourself by getting a good relationship with yourself, being grateful for your life, you can then turn inward and connect with that true core of who you are and find what your purpose is. Now, this is where it gets exciting, because once you know what your purpose is in life, you're grateful for your life, and you love your life, you love you, it opens all these doors to how life can actually be. And naturally, your behaviors turn healthy. So notice that this is, all of this that we're talking about here is internal. It's internal and it's love-based. You're doing the work on the inside, and then it starts to manifest outside. Love-based, internal. So your behaviors automatically become healthy. You can still shop. You can still play video games. You can still have relationships. You can still go exercise. But because you're doing it because you are happy, not because you're trying to do that behavior to become happy, it's healthy. You are living your life from a state of power, and it's going to impact others. And that's the next step, and the final step is to give back. Give back. Because once you learn to love yourself, to be grateful for your life, that you have a purpose, and you start living that and experience the joy and happiness that comes from that, it becomes your responsibility to reach out and lift others, to help others who are where you were. Because we go through life that way, with a hand down and a hand up. People are helping us as we reach and we help others, and that's how we go through life. So it becomes your responsibility, once you have received and once you've learned to experience this joy, to reach out to others and help them experience it as well. And become that mentor and that friend to lift others and encourage them out of their dark spaces, to become accountable for their lives, and ultimately to develop a culture of accountability where we are living our lives, we are living our purposes, and life becomes amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to be accountable, and thank you for the good that you are doing in this world. If you found value in this video, subscribe, comment below, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.